Judgment time.
Welcome to Everything Comes Back to 2000 AD, and today I'm joined by Mr. Stephen Ross.
Mr. Rossy, what you want? Oh, the tree of ice cream cones, a cocoa castle full of home, custard cakes, coffee breaks, holiday world will say.
Hello from sunny Southern California, and this podcast is brought to this was procrastination because I was a minute late this morning. This is brought to you by Rainstorm Clean Energy.
Mr. John Burtis.
Hello to all you drockers out there from a very sunny Maidstone in the Garden of England, and just down the road on the weekend. What's his name? Fuck me, the movie star. Oh God,
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp was in town going to one of the nightclubs.
Oh.
Now that nightclub's had a big refurbishment. I'll say about 2 or 3 years ago, and it's one of those ones where you can hire a table, you know, that sort of booth and all that sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where all the losers who think they're influencers all try to go to, you know, that's the thing. And
How
I'm
old is
like,
Johnny Depp now?
182.
What's he doing hanging around in nightclubs?
He was filming something.
Oh, okay.
Right, now the thing is, I've seen all the footage of the filming going on outside. And I sent a little clip to use, and there's people are going, well, I never saw him. And I'm thinking, well, the fuck, how long were you there then? Because the owner of the place said, well, I can assure you he was inside. But he'd been filming over at Chatham a couple of weeks ago. So I presume he's either staying in London or he's got some fucking plush place in Kent that he's staying in, because there's a lot of beautiful houses out in the countryside here, away from anyone's prying eyes. So that's that.
Why isn't he staying with you?
Well, I'll mention a place I'm staying later on. Let me just, I've got the page open. You'll be impressed by it.
Oh.
But anyway, that's talking about living things. Let's talk about dead things. Woo! Handful here, a little cluster. Interesting one for Mr. Ross at the last one, which I picked up just before we went live. But let's start with another one that might be of interest to Mr. Ross. A Len Dayton, a 97-year-old British spy novelist and illustrator who did his main bunch of books in the 60s and 70s, which included The Ipcris File, which was made into a film starring Michael Caine, Horse Underwater, Funeral in Berlin, $1 Billion Brain, An Expensive Place to Die, Spy Story, Yesterday's Spy, and Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Spy. He also did cookery books, which he did he's written 5 cookery books, for them French stuff. So there you have it. So I'm sure you've got his stuff in your place, Mr. Ross. So that's Mr. Len Dayton.
So it's a British person writing French cookery, so it's how to boil snails.
Well, yes, he did. One of them did include garlic in the title. It was called, where's it at? Où est le garlic? Which means, where is the garlic?
Now that wasn't anywhere near a comprehensive bibliography. Did he do those? The Spy Who Came In From the Cold and the Spy Who
Fuck knows.
Did Everything But Love Me and the Spy Who whatever. Was he that guy? There's some of these guys.
I don't think so.
There's some of these guys like wrote a bunch of books when my grandpa was reading all these what was that guy, Alistair MacLean? My grandfather,
yeah.
My grandfather read all those and all the Dick Francis books, so I know those. But,
Well, it says here that several of Dayton's novels have been adapted as films, which include The Ipcress Fire, blah, 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 blah. Harry Palmer was the film, which Michael Caine became that character. There's something here about Mexico set. That's weird. You're right. A load of the stuff's fucking missing from that fucking list. You got Bearing Game, Mexico set. It's a spy novel in '84. I wondered why he fucking just stopped. It's the second novel in the first of 3 trilogies about Bernard Sampson, a middle-aged and somewhat jaded intelligence officer working for the British Secret Intelligence. It says here, Quentin Tarantino expressed interest in adapting the trilogy. Also, there's a bit here about fucking Motorhead. There we are. Dayton's 1970 novel, Bomber, was... The third album of the rock group Motorhead was named after the novel, as the band's singer Lemmy was reading it at the time they were recording the album.
Wow.
Yeah,
anyway. He's an interesting guy.
Anyway, next name on the list, Matt Clark, aged 89, American actor, famous for westerns. So he's been in loads of stuff, television wise and film wise, but it's all I will presume small parts. You know what I mean? Because he was in 1972. He was in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 films he was in. So let's go film wise. The Bridge at Remagen. I'm trying to see any sort of the big the Grissom Gang. Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, White Lightning, Outlaw Josie Wales, Brubaker, Legend of the Lone Ranger, Honky Tonk Man, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension.
Really?
Yeah, he was the Secretary of Defense, John McKinley.
Huh. He
was in Return to Wars, Back to the Future 3. He was Chester the bartender. Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh. 5 Aces. A million Ways to Die in the West. And then TV. He's basically another one of the ones. We always have these sort of actors. You won't remember the name, but because he's been in so much shit, you'll be like, well, I've obviously seen him. So he's been in NYPD Blue. Sorry, not Blue. NYPD, Bonanza, The Waltons, Kung Fu. Where's it? Keep going. Kansas City Massacre, Little House on the Prairie, 3 episodes. The Last Ride of the Dalton Gang, Dynasty, The Winds of War, Magnum PI, Hardcastle and McCormick, The Quick and the Dead, War and Remembrance, Dead Before Dawn, Barbarians at the Gate, Lewis and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, Trilogy of Terror, Walker, Texas Ranger, how apt, Touched by an Angel, The Pretender. So he basically stopped filming TV and stuff in 2000, films in 2014. So he's another one of those character actors.
Not to spoil anything, John, but Walker, Texas Ranger has been touched by an angel. But go on.
That's right. So there you have it. So another one of those actors who, like you say, you don't know the name, but you'll be watching a film or a TV and go, oh, didn't I see him in such and such not long ago? You know, it's interesting stuff. And yes, it seems like you mentioned that, Mr. Ross. The next name I have on my sheet is Chuck Norris, aged 86, American martial artist, author, and actor. Uh, Now, I remember, like, the Octagon, that was my sort of first true sort of introduction to, man, fuck me, his page is fucking ginormous. And I'm just
Probably
scrolling
all
down.
canon movies.
To say the least.
Well, do you know what? It doesn't even go into listing his films. The films are mentioned sporadically throughout, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But there's not, I presume it's because it's getting altered all the time at the moment, you know what I mean? That's early roles. Where the Dragon, obviously we know about that one. I was watching a bit about that the other night, and they said it cost about no, which one was the main? Was it that one? Yeah, Where the Dragon, Return of the Dragon. Yeah, that's it. Return of the Dragon. It was 100,000 to make, and it grossed in over 1,000 times what it cost to make. No,
Return of the Dragon? Oh,
yeah,
is that
but
the one where he fights Bruce Lee?
it's called Where the Dragon, but it was also titled Return of the Dragon in its US distribution, and it made 130 million worldwide. But from the thing I watched the other night, it said it cost 100,000 to make.
Wow.
But
There's
yes,
some profit for you.
that is
Yeah.
because it said it. Yep.
It's a pretty tidy profit there.
It is, and I bet none of the fuckers saw any of that. Yeah. So there was like Good Guys Wear Black, The Octagon. It's going. Yeah, I think The Octagon was the first one I saw. Then I was seeing like The Force of One, Good Guys Wear Black, all that sort of stuff. And I've only really seen a couple of his fucking Walker Texas Rangers. It wasn't really sort of for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, my old man watched that show all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
And it goes on here, it mentions like the producers Menem Golan and Yoram Globus, Canon Films, and Orion Pictures. Oh, I can visually see at the beginning of the film those logos spinning around and coming up the screen.
Oh, yeah.
You got Missing in Action 2, the beginning, that was 85. The Delta Force. It was all the same sort of stuff, but it was just thoroughly enjoyable fucking stuff, you know what I mean? It says by 1990, his films have collectively grossed over 500 million worldwide.
Wow.
And apparently Clint Eastwood sometimes called him the blonde Bruce Lee.
Wow. You know, he didn't have a flashy fighting style, but he just made so many of those like once he got into the Missing in Action movies, I don't remember him doing as much of the fist fighting. It was just kind of like he picks up an Uzi and guns down a bunch of Arabs or something like that, or commies and Arabs.
Now, for the British people and the people who speak correctly, he meant Arabs.
All right, do you want to play that, John? It's pronounced it's pronounced Menachem.
You can't even say it yourself.
You have to pronounce it the chosen way, Menachem.
I do laugh when I've seen interviews where he talks about other fighters. Primarily, the name that pops up is your favorite fighter and movie star.
Oh, Van Damme?
No, oh no, he's not your favorite. Who did I take a picture of you behind their feet and hand imprint at the fucking Chinese theater?
Oh, Seagal?
That's right. I love it when he mentions, oh yeah. What he does is rubbish. All this sort of stuff. Oh, I'm like, yes, because everyone who's a fighter mentions him because they always get prompted to mention him. But yeah, so I did see.
Hold on, Rossy. Did you watch the Tom Segura skit where he plays Steven Seagal? Yeah.
I told you I did. I told you I did when I did, but it was a long time between when you mentioned it and when I got around to it, so I could understand why you'd forget. But yes, I did, and it was great. It was. I mean, this guy's seen more Seagal movies, and not just the early theatrical stuff that everybody saw, but the really crappy direct-to-video movies that came after. He whether it was him or one of his writers, they've read they know their psychology.
Psychology.
Right.
That's the name of the book that's like about the study of his films and career.
I mean, I've just got to fucking just quickly search this because this is fucking weird. Because you have to open another fucking site for his fucking TV and movie stuff, right? And let me just go here. Head. Right, I'm sure. Ah, yes. I'm sure Motorhead. Yeah. Come on, get that up.
That's what
I'm
she
sure. Yes, I'm sure Motorhead have got. There's something about the Wrecking Crew and Motorhead. I can't fucking see it now. I don't know. I'll look later. I'm sure somebody will be screaming at the broadcast on their device. But I've opened up the page for his film stuff.
Mhm.
The first film he was in as an uncredited extra was The Wrecking Crew, and I'm positive that that's what when Motorhead toured, that's what they called their crew. And I'm sure they've got a drink called that, or there's something like that. Anyway, next
Well,
one up.
that's what
Yeah.
that was the Beach Boys band, like the people who actually played on a lot of those 60s albums. That's what there's a documentary about them. They were called The Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, I probably got slightly wrong. Let's have a look. Motorhead drink. Oh, fucking hell. Come on. Motorhead drink. What's that say? Bollocks, no. Let's just fucking continue. Otherwise, I'll be fanning about forever. So, his next film was The Way of the Dragon. And then it was, oh, dear me.
That was about his mother-in-law.
Then The Student Teachers, Yellow-Faced Tiger. I wonder what that could be about.
What?
Breaker.
What? Wait a minute.
That's racist.
Holy shit.
Right, Yellow-Faced Tiger, Hong Kong American martial arts action film directed by Lo Wei. And yes, Wei, it was Lo Wei. And starring Wong Tao, Sylvia Chang, and Chuck Norris.
Look up Lo Wei. I think that guy's had like a massive career if it's the guy thinking of.
Right. Fuck that. Let's continue. There we've got Breaker. Good guys wear black.
This is gonna be the I wasn't able to do the live stream with the guys because they did it in the middle of the week, but they did a 2 hour 40-minute Chuck Norris RIP thing.
Fucking
yeah, so it would have been 3.5 if I had been there, but so no, check up I don't want to look it up myself because of the connection.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm not checking it up.
All right, keep going.
I haven't fucking managed to confirm your Wrecking Crew story. A Force of One, The Octagon, An Eye for an Eye, Silent Rage, Forced Vengeance, Lone Wolf McQuaid, Missing in Action 2, Court of Silence. Say every fucking name that I'm reading now, I remember. Invasion USA, The Delta Force, Firewalker, Braddock, Missing in Action 3, Hero and the Terror, Delta Force 2, The Colombian Connection, The Hitman, Sidekicks, Hellbound, Top Dog, Forest Warrior, Bells of Innocence, Dodgeball, A True Underdog Story, starred as himself in a cameo. The Cutter, The Expendables 2, Agent Recon, and Zombie Plane. Completed posthumous release. And then TV-wise, he's got, scroll a bit further.
He never. I don't think he ever fell into the trap that Sly and Arnie did by doing kids movies like Kindergarten Cop. And
That's right.
Stop
Yeah.
No.
And then he did 196 episodes of Walker, Texas Ranger. He played himself in Room 222, Karate Commandos. He played himself in Wind in the Wire, Logan's War, Bound by Honor, Sons of Thunder, Martial Law, The President's Man, A Line in the Sand, Yes Dear, Walker, Texas Ranger, Trial by Fire, The Goldbergs, Hawaii 5-0, and then he did a lot of commercials, which were all, by the looks of it, video games, I would presume. I know there was a lot of bank ones, WBK bank commercial. He did World of Warcraft, a Dodge Ram commercial. He did loads of those WBK ones. He did a Right Guard one, a Toyota.
I wonder how many
Well,
Japanese ones he did, because you know the way the actors in the
oh
80s
yeah,
would go to
like
Japan.
yeah.
I've got a
Yeah.
Stallone one where he
Because
brings
they
a
were
turkey
hidden.
to a Japanese
They were
family.
hidden. They were
Yeah,
hidden from the West because we didn't have the internet at the time. And I remember, didn't Schwarzenegger do like a cigar or a whiskey one?
Yeah.
And it wasn't
yeah.
allowed to be shown in the West, but obviously, come the time, too late, matey.
Oh, I saw a Schwarzenegger one where it was like some crazy ass noodle thing where it was like,
Yeah. He
yeah,
appears at the end of it. With a big head.
yeah, exactly. So Flint, I could do the thing where that you do, where I say you're wrong, that he did do that. He was in that Chuck Norris Karate Commandos cartoon for kids, but technically he wasn't. It wasn't like one of those kids movies like you're actually talking about. So I'll let it go.
Right. Well, I've now confirmed what it was with the Motorhead thing.
I was talking about the live action. I wasn't talking about his animation, doofus.
Right. That's why I'm going to let it go.
Let it go. What are you letting it go for? He wasn't in those goofy kid movies. I said movies.
Well, you do.
It's the animation. Was the animation a TV show?
Yes.
Yeah, I said movies.
Yeah.
Stop my mom and shoot is a movie.
Yeah. So
Kindergarten Cop is a movie.
Right, but you said kids too. So
He didn't do what Stallone and Arnie did, which was kids movies.
Right. So anyway, go ahead.
Right. So it wasn't the Wrecking Crew, it was the Road Crew. I've just opened up Cameron's Brewery, which is the brewery that's in my hometown of Hartlepool. And they do all the branding for Motorhead and all their drinks. So you can get Motorhead beer mats, towels, glasses, pint glasses, that sort of stuff. And it's the Road Crew. So that's that's why a big fan of Lemmy and Motorhead is fucking Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters, and he did one of their songs which was called Road Crew. So there we are.
Is Motorhead considered like a hometown heroes for you and
not for Hartlepool, no, but I don't know how they got that. I don't know. The brewery obviously fucking just approached them, and they do all the branding for them. And but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's Chuck. He's gone up to heaven to fight all the fucking bad people.
To meet himself.
That's right.
Well, you forgot the infomercials. I don't even know if they're infomercials or they were Google ads, but I think they were Google ads. He was selling his health program, which I think is going to go bankrupt.
Well, it didn't fucking work, did it?
Yeah, I was going to say
he's dead.
I was going to say in 2 weeks we'll probably never see those again. But yeah, it was like, hey, he'd be like chopping wood and shit, and they'd be like, hey, Chuck, how do you stay so healthy?
I think they only start showing those in the last few weeks, I think, Rossy.
No, I've seen them for a while.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, it was like, how do you stay so healthy at age whatever, 80 something?
Why do you watch those things? Because it's not helping you either, is it?
Hell no. Well, I mean, watching the ads is one thing. Actually, like sending him money is something else. So no, I didn't send him any money. But so as I've said, though, I mean, he seemed like he was healthy as a horse when he died. So that's my plan. It's like if I only lived into my 70s or 80s, but I go with like the worst thing that happens to me is I randomly can't pee once in a long while and my knees are fucked. That's fine. As long as it stops here, that's fine. But if I live to be like in my 90s, but like the last 10 years, everything falls apart and I'm miserable.
That's very unreachable for you.
Oh, really?
Well, you're in shit state now, aren't you?
The only thing wrong with me is like I can't pee. I couldn't pee once, and even then they couldn't figure out why. And then my knees and feet are fucked. So,
well, that's most of you, isn't it?
Well,
your knees and feet carry the rest of you, so they're always going to be fucked if you can't relax and completely and recover.
Yeah, well, it doesn't stop me from walking around. So
I'm walking here. I'm walking.
Yeah. Of course, I walk like a gimp, but I can make it a cool walk. I'll get myself a pimp stick and
And
make
a
it a
chain so
cool.
you can twist it around, like flick it around.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, next death, we got one that we've all outlived, so well done us. Nicholas Brendan, age 54, American actor who was in primarily Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. You know, Buffy, the character, female lead who was enjoyed by everybody, young men and women alike, but nobody thought, oh, I'm being pushed this down my throat, blah, blah, blah. No, it was just an enjoyable, fun TV series, which apparently might have been recommissioned to be remade, but it fell through in the last few days. Yes, and
Yeah.
he was in Buffy for 144 episodes.
So there was a few. It depends on who. I forgot who. Oh, I know now. I remember who it was. There was news going around the geekosphere that a few pages of the script had leaked, and it was exactly what you would expect from a show in 2026. So
Yeah,
perhaps it was a mercy killing.
yes. Well, him being a mercy killing. So you're saying somebody killed him?
Oh, no!
I was joking, Mr. Ross. See
No,
how
the
the jokes fly
killing,
right over you.
killing the script. Did they say what he died of? I remember this was like days ago, and they didn't say. So usually it means
Let's have a look.
if he's that
Death.
young.
He died of natural causes in his sleep in Indiana.
Really? Wow.
That's what it says. But you know, could be a lie, but that's what it says from his family. Anyway, let's do filmography, shall we? We got Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest. He was basketball player 1. Then he was in, I mean, these are all interesting. Psycho Beach Party, Demon Island, Unholy, Blood on the Highway. It's got a sort of like he's a scream queen of his own.
Yeah.
Then he was in, oh, you love this one. It's basically fucking just changed the last word to Ron. It's Big Gay Love.
Really?
Yeah, Big Gay Love, and he was Andy in that.
Yeah.
He was in Attack of the Morningside Creek Monster. He was in The Nanny, a few other bits and bobs, and then it's got the TV series. He was in Married with Children. He was a guy in Ray Ray's gang. He was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, obviously. Celeste in the City, Kitchen Confidential, Relative Chaos, American Dragon, Fire Serpent, Criminal Minds, Without a Trace, Hollywood Heights, Faking It. And he was also in some video games, just as the Buffy and the Vampire Slayer stuff. So, yeah. It was a surprise to see his name suddenly start popping up in my feed, because I quite like the character in the TV show. You know what I mean? It was one of those TV shows, just watched it, just enjoyed it for the madness of it, you know what I mean? Good effects, all good characters, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Probably like Supernatural before Supernatural.
yeah. Led the way sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever watch it, Flint?
Buffy, I saw the movie.
It's
I didn't care for it. I didn't care for the TV show.
Yeah, I saw the movie. I saw the movie in the theater, and I didn't care for the movie, but the TV show is very different. But it was one of those things where I had friends who loved it, and for some reason, I didn't like the humor in Buffy, but I did like the humor in Xena, and I didn't like the humor in Hercules. To me, Xena was kind of like the good midpoint between everybody sounding like Joss Whedon, and then Hercules, where it was Kevin Sorbo would say something funny and the music's going, and then the other guy like looks at him and Kevin Sorbo shrugs, and then the other guy rolls his eyes and the music's still going. So it's like,
how long
it's
did
funny.
Hercules last?
Well, Xena lasted 6 seasons, so Hercules was probably a couple more before that, longer than that, or I don't know if they canceled Hercules before they canceled Xena.
Yeah, I wouldn't think the Hercules would have lasted as long as Xena.
Yeah, and Xena was like, there was I forgot what season Lucy Lawless
Xena's the one that spawned all the others.
What do you mean?
like Hercules, and then they had the Fox version, like Roar. Remember Roar with Heath Ledger?
Well,
All those New Zealand productions.
yeah, well, Hercules was the first, and
Well, that
then
was before
Xena's,
Xena.
yeah,
Oh
Xena
wow, I
was,
thought it was the other way around.
no, Xena, in fact, Xena was a direct spin-off from Hercules. She was a character in the show, and they spun her off in her own series. And
Because they
then,
showed, as far as I can remember, in Ireland they showed Xena first, and then they showed Hercules after. That's probably where I got
oh,
that from.
interesting. Okay. So then, and then Jack of All Trades was the Bruce Campbell show. And these weren't like network, these were not like nighttime network TV shows. They turned up like first run in the middle of the afternoon on the weekends. So so they had pretty high production values for something that was just an afternoon. No, but then there were the ones that were actually made by that production team. So that was Cleopatra 2525, Jack of All Trades.
Yeah.
And then there was like you said, all those other shows that may or may not have been done in New Zealand, like Conan, Queen of Swords. For some reason, I think there was a Robin Hood show. There were like all these other like even cheaper action shows that were I would say that there's probably a dozen episodes of Xena that would hold up today, and then all those other shows would be like completely unwatchable. I tried watching
like they have the Tarzan
episode of
show.
Conan. Tarzan, yes, man. So okay, side story. I went to the American Film Institute. The dude who got me into making the low budget movies, we went to the American Film Market to try to promote the Mexican wrestling movie I'd gotten the okay to do something with, and we couldn't. You can't get into the show without a pass and a lanyard, and it's really expensive. But if you go after it's closed, you have like the run of the place. So down on the main floor, there was this like a wall mural promoting the Tarzan Adventures show. And they left all their promotional notebooks on the table. So I'm like flipping through and I'm going like, oh my God, like all the creatures from At the Earth's Core, stuff from Barsoom. There was like production, the like concept sketches and character designs for all this stuff. And
Yeah,
like,
it was actually a pretty fun show.
yeah, and I'm like, they're gonna bring all of this like into, and honestly, for 90s CGI special effects, some of it wasn't terrible. The main problem was the Tarzan was short. The actor was short, but he kind of looked like a Tarzan. He was okay. And it was all filmed at some resort in South Africa. Like that was like the jungle.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was.
They have it. I think they show it on Tubi now, Rossy.
I think I'd give it a second chance. I have all the action figures, which I got on sale after like the first year. Like after 6 months, the action figures all went on sale, and I was like, I'll take them all. So
yeah, well, it was the most Tarzan you would have seen on screen close to the books, as compared to the Ron Ely show and stuff like that.
Right. They really made an effort for that one, so I got to give them props for that. So anyway, wait a minute. So the Buffy guy died.
Right now, this is an interesting bit, right? Because he had a brother.
Oh.
And his twin brother, which I've popped up onto my YouTube channel so I can watch it later, he starred. Let me just get it. Where's it at? Oh, I've lost a fucking bit now. That's that. Fuck me, that's it. As I'm scrolling down, he was in a specific episode. Twin career Buffy. There we are. He appeared on screen with his twin brother, Kelly Donovan, in the fifth season episode, The Replacement, in which Xander is split into two versions of himself. So that's interesting, because at the time, I mean, fuck me, 20-odd years ago, probably just thinking, oh, that's a special effect, like, you know what I mean? But now that I know, because I knew that in the Terminator films.
Yeah, the two twins. The twins.
Was it the cop type person who dropped the cup?
The guard. I think it was a guard, right?
Yeah, a guard, and she had her sister.
Guard.
She had her sister play bits, yeah. So you never know what they're up to. But obviously, we knew about those bits because there was so much shit that came out at the time, showing you how they're doing effects and all these like film 83 programs or whatever, that sort of stuff. So anyway, that's Nicholas Brendan. So next up, we have Sam Keith, age 63, American artist and writer, who apparently, it says here, co-creator of The Sandman, with the lovely, very nice person who we can't talk about anymore.
You can't prove anything.
That's
and
right.
And he's not sorry. Well, he's sorry that his career is over, but he's not sorry.
That's
the
right.
latest Trigon Empire books, they took his name off the back cover.
Oh,
really?
That's for people who don't know. That's Neil. Yay, man. So, notable works: The Max, Zero Girl. He was a writer, penciler, artiste, inker. So he did it all. Yes.
What has he done lately, though?
What is he? He died lately. That's what he's done.
Well, he'll be most remembered for The Max, I think.
Yeah.
So it says here, right? I'll go through some of the books and comics and stuff. Eleanor Egret for Aftershock Comics. He did Aliens Earth War 1 to 4. He did Arkham Asylum, Batman Confidential, Batman Lobo, Harley Quinn, House of Mystery, Lobo, Highway to Hell, The Sandman, Secret Origins, Thunder Agents, Four Women. These are Wildstorm. These ones now. Zero Girl, Eclipse Comics, Adolescent Radioactive Black Belt Hamsters. Fuck me! Fuck me!
Do you know about that, Rossy?
Wait, you didn't know that existed, John?
Well, obviously I didn't. As soon as I started reading and I saw the end word, I thought, you have to have that.
I didn't know he worked on it.
Yeah, I have a couple. They don't look like hamsters. They look like humans with like sort of rodent type heads.
Well, I've just put the cursor on it and it shows a cover. It's a creator-owned American funny animal parody comic book series created by Don Chin. It was one of the number of parodies of Mirage Studios' hit Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. Itself a parody of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he also did...
It was a very Frank Miller-looking cover on the early issues. Go ahead.
Yeah. He also did Fish Police. He did The Max 1 to 35. He did Clive Barker's Hellraiser, Freddy Krueger's The Nightmare on Elm Street. I've been at that house, ladies and gentlemen. And The Incredible Hulk, Marvel Age, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, X-Men Unlimited, Wolverine, Hulk, The Savage Hulk, and for Oni Press, how that pronounce it, Ojo and My Inner Bimbo 1 to 5. So a right old mishmash of across all the fucking comic houses. So.
Yeah, he's mostly remembered for The Max and maybe the Sandman stuff, and that's it, really.
I was just about to say he didn't do anything for 2000 AD, but lo and behold, in the UK, he has contributed to 2000 AD's Judge Dredd and provided several covers for the Nemesis the Warlock reprint title in 2011. Yeah,
wow,
that's right.
Quality stuff.
That's when Ghislaine Maxwell's dad owned Judge Dredd. Yeah. So
I watched the thing about all them the other day, how she went to school with the boss of the British Metropolitan Police, the female boss who was in charge when that poor lad was executed on the subway, Charles de Menendez, I think his name was. So they're all fucking with each other. They were all at school. All these high rankers.
You can say that. That's accurate.
But I was watching the thingy, and so obviously afterwards I did a little quick Google to make sure it wasn't thingy, then grokked it, or whatever you call it, and it was all true.
You trust Google.
Yeah, but yeah, it's these people. I said to Karen, I said, once you get to these levels, but in the UK, when the government, the members of Parliament get a pay increase, right? They all say we have nothing to do with that. It's done by an external group. Yeah, that external group you all fucking went to school with, you fuckers. You know what I mean? You all know each other. It's like me saying to a mate at work, do you know what? I think you deserve this much money. And then in turning around to the boss going, I think John deserves this much money as well. That's the insanity of it. So anyway.
If you've all seen each other naked, whether it's in a locker room or whatever, then that's it's not like they're strangers and you don't even know who it is. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what their dong looks like. So
that's it.
Right?
And talking about dongs, here we go for the last name. The one that I said Mr. Rossy was deeply invested in this sort of thing. So, Leonard Radvinsky, aged 43, United Kingdom-based Ukrainian-American billionaire. He was the founder of the cam site My Free Cams and the majority owner of the content subscription service OnlyFans. And as of October last year, he had an estimated worth of 7.8 billion, and he has died of cancer.
Mysterious causes. You know what? I don't have the microphone anymore to do this chin scratching noise. So here's the real thing.
Well, I knew you'd love that once I mean, I joke about the old OnlyFans thing. I remember one of the girls on my Facebook feed who does con stuff, cosplay in the cons, and she had a massive Barney with somebody because she does OnlyFans, and that person said, "Oh yeah, doing slutty porn." And in my head, I thought that's the only reason OnlyFans exists. Do you think that you're sitting there fucking making a flower arrangement? You might be touching a different flower, but you're fucking definitely not doing an arrangement. OnlyFans, every person on OnlyFans, they must be doing some sort of porn. It cannot be for anything else.
Well, so
oh God, Rossy's going to tell us he watches something and it's not porn.
So I can tell you with all.
Rossy has his own. Rossy has his own where he shows people how to put in and out the catheter.
It's called only Rossy.
And then he gets people who says, right, how much do you want me to pour out? You want me to put 2 fucking gallons out? Right, I'll do my best. I will do a live stream for you.
Well, what I do is I take the nozzle and I tell him, like, okay, if I get like $2, I'll turn it like, 3 millimeters, and for every dollar I get, I'll unscrew it by a millimeter.
Excellent.
And so,
do you know what?
And then you hear ching 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 ching.
Do you know what? I said to Karen last week, I said, oh, we had a fucking brilliant laugh on the podcast. She goes, what was that then? I said, well, Rossy's had this fitted. I said, and I asked the questions that every normal man wants to ask. And she looked at me and she went, all right, what did you ask? I said, did you get an erection? I said, first of all, did a man put it on you? And he said, yes. And I said, did you get an erection? And she went, what, you asked him then? I said, every man wants to know what's going on when this happens. She's like, she was like, Jesus, what do you look like?
So if there's ever going to be a best of ECBT in the future,
that'll be one of the episodes.
I had some guys over, like kind of like the last of our Denny's meetup group. I had them over last night, and using my Bertus voice, I told them that exact story with the question you asked, and they thought that was funny as well. So so number one, I can say with all truth and honesty, neither free nor paid for, I have not seen OnlyFans. So, and from what I've seen and heard from clips, there's nothing about it that interests me, and like millennial and Zoomer porn is the worst. So that's
what about guinea pig fairies?
If that's there, you know what? There's enough AI guinea pig videos where they're like parachuting and swarming into Taco Bells and doing stuff on their phones. I don't need that. So, but I was listening to a video about they were saying like it was couch. I think the guy's British. It's called Moon, it's not quite conspiracy, but it's kind of like, this is suspicious kind of stuff. So they were talking, this is suspicious was that the guy who owns OnlyFans or something is looking to sell it to get out. And they were like, well, why? And so a lot of it was mostly like a financial thing that, because it's sort of built on sand, that like a very, very small, they said it makes this many millions or billions of dollars, which breaks down to $1,000, like $1,200 and some change for everybody who's like on the platform. But they said it doesn't work that way at all. It's like a teeny tiny portion of them make millions of dollars, and then everybody else makes, almost nothing. So there's a lot of people trying, but very few succeeding, in other words. And there's like financial reasons, like there's a lot of, because of the website and the shady nature of it, there's a lot of like credit card fraud, like people will try to scam to get a subscription, and fraudulent accounts and bots, and it's just a mess. And so that's why the guy wants to get out. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. But like, if you ever go into those, well, we went into that adult shop on Hollywood, right, John? I've heard that those places just get shoplifted the living hell out of them, because people are still afraid and ashamed to go to the register, so they just try to steal shit.
Yeah. What's the point? What are they going to do about
that? I guess back in the 80s,
Rossy just confessed, John. Rossy just confessed to us. Rossy just confessed to us.
I said people, not me.
Well, that might as well just buy it online. It's fucking it comes in. It always says that it comes in a plain envelope.
Oh yeah. Well, then they know that. Well, it's like, well, it doesn't have the Amazon smile on it. It must be porn. Well, back in the day, the Man Show with Flint's hero Adam Carolla and nobody's hero Jimmy Kimmel, they did a whole bit about renting porn at the porn store, and like how to pretend you're not really interested, and how to put the porn video underneath the box, underneath 5 other boxes that you're going to rent, and like all the clever clandestine ways to rent porn so you don't get judged by the person who's like ringing you up. Yeah. So anyway,
well, there's your deaths, everybody.
There's your deaths. Kickstarter corner. What you got, Rossy?
Kind of, sort of nothing. Ben's Spy Bunny things is still running, and I went from getting digital file to the actual graphic novel, because it's I didn't realize it was 60 pages instead of 48, so I said cool. I think the 77 is it issue number 12 that they got going right now? It's fully funded. It's like in its last week. And then I think I'm, like I said, when I said I was trying to cut down on that, I'm serious. Like, that Luchador book was kind of like the last thing. And I've heard, I saw, nobody said explicitly, but like the brother of the producer who died for one of the movies that I backed, The Alien Horde, he said that they were going to finish 2 more movies this year and kind of like wrap up all the things that they had going. But he didn't say, and we're finishing Alien Horde. He said 2 more movies. So I'm like, well, I think that's going to be one of them, because they already finished shooting it. So all they have, finger quotes, all they have to do is post-production. And meanwhile, I've got like 3 or 4 other things, like that White Dragon is still out there. That Amazon Woman pulp thing is still out there. I am confident that eventually I'll see the White Dragon thing. I'm probably just threw my money down the toilet for that Amazon Woman thing at this point. So I think that's it. How about you?
I think, isn't Philip Fawn, our buddy in Scotland, doing a Kickstarter called Singularity?
I did see something pop up the other day about that. Yeah.
Let me see what that is. Oh God, I can't remember what he has under.
Hmm. Oh, and there's also that humor strip.
No, well, the Singularity is the sci-fi horror sci-fi anthology, issue 2,
Mm-hmm.
and looks like it's got funded as
Mm-hmm.
164 backers. It looks really good, man.
Hmm.
I think
Well,
they'll
didn't
get
he
great job.
discover Anna Morozova?
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah.
he did discover her talent. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. She.
Yeah.
Yeah. He. I don't think she was the only one. I think there's a few others that he discovered, Philip. Yeah. I don't know if he's including issue 1 and 2 together.
Mm-hmm.
No, doesn't look like. Yeah, I don't see it. You
Okay.
can buy them separate, I think. It's kind of
Hmm.
interesting. Yeah, so it's that, and then Anal and Ed Doyle have the whole tooth, which is a collection of 2000 parody strips, which 2000 have said that they've given them permission to do. Rebellion have given them permission to do, as long as they put like, this is all these characters belong to 2000 and blah 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 on the inside. So the field is open now, guys. So if you want to do your own 2000 stuff, party strip, as long as you have that disclaimer on the inside, the gates are open for you.
Well,
So,
they got permission. I don't think you could do 2000 he
oh, of course you can, because it's a
it's
parody.
you.
2000, well,
Because it's you.
2000 AD, 2000 he is a parody thing as well. So
Hmm.
yeah, I might give that a go. Yeah, I can always point the precedent over it that they allowed Anal and Ed to do theirs. And the funny thing is that if you're into really bad artwork with no foundation, no shape, and garish colors, the
Oh
whole tooth is
God.
for you. Oh, it's terrible. I was gonna do an
Uh,
interview. I was gonna do an interview with Ed, and
mhm.
but do myself as Ed. So it'll be like, so Ed, how's the comic going? Well, Stephen, this is the kind of thing I like to do. I love Carlos. Carlos is square, and there's a strip in the whole tooth where I do Johnny Alpha's mother, and she has young Johnny Alpha as a baby, and I was so in awe of Carlos that I decided that I wasn't going to look up any reference of his artwork at all. I just make it up as I go along. So the mother looks completely different than the way Carlos drew her. Thanks very much, Ed.
You know what? I would love to hear an interview with Michael Carroll interviewing Ed.
Yeah.
And everything's
Oh
like,
my
to be sure, to
God.
be sure.
Sure. Fucking hell. I mean,
I would love to see Marnie like pass by the
it'll
door
it'll,
while
it'll
he's doing
be
that.
the league of it'll be the League of Simpletons. That interview. So if
Wow.
you want to check it out, check it out. The whole tooth. I mean, I think it's funded and everything. I mean, poor old Anal. I mean, he lost his store as well, so it's probably I mean, the thing is with Kickstarter, you're not supposed to do things for charity.
Hmm.
That's a no-no. And Alan
Hmm.
already said he's doing it for charity. Though the whole too just said proceeds go to, just ask me and Ed and we'll tell you in the description. I'm
Oh,
like,
so it
oh
is
my
for him.
God.
He is the he's his own
It
charity
probably
case.
well, like probably is. I mean, it must have been tough for him because he must have known that the store wasn't making that much money, and he probably tried to continue it on as long as he could,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. And eventually
I
he
mean,
said, I'll have to close it. I mean, it's a tough business.
comics now is like it's becoming a very narrow field. I think it's going to be like those. There was record stores in multiple record stores in every town, and now there's like maybe one little boutique place that carries vinyl, and that
Probably
this,
doesn't help that he looks like sweaty bald guy with a Hawaiian shirt.
but which was pretty much every comic book guy in the '80s. So
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
screams stranger danger.
to be fair, I mean, even George Perez kind of had that vibe too. So it's like kind of like, but yeah, well, I mean, he's trying real hard to project comic book guy. Even when he was on TV on that game show, it's kind of like pick out the comic book guy, and it's like, well, him. And but comic book guys kind of really aren't like that anymore. You know, it's like
All the stores are clean and they're all,
it's
clean.
it's usually a guy. Now it's like a guy with a beard and, you know, big shoulders and big chest and kind of like a little bit of a belly that looks like he's trying to suck in, and a comic book t-shirt, you know, tattoos, or like, from what I understand, that guy Brian Hibbs, basically he's got girls who look like Chloe from the Twill cast, you know, the tattooed chick with the, you know, you'd want to say crazy hair, but they all have that same haircut. So it's some kind of piercing, you know, it's like, okay, I can tell you work in a comic book store because so anyway.
Mm. So yeah, if you want to go to the whole tooth on Kickstarter and put down your shekels for it, but be warned, all the jokes are probably pre 1990s, because all these guys remember is the 80s.
Right. Well, they stopped reading. They stopped reading around the
Reading in the
90s.
80s,
So
yeah.
yeah. So yeah. Well, you know, they're swinging for the cheap seats. So cast the net the widest, they say.
Good for them.
Yeah. And they got what? How many backers? Do you have it up to how many backers they got?
Oh, I just had it and I shut it. Let me see. I'll tell you now.
I mean, it was in the double digits. So, and they were like backed last time I saw. So,
I think it's his most successful one he's done.
wow.
Which it's on the coattails of something else, which makes sense.
Exactly.
He's got 52 backers.
You know, that's
But it's over $1,000, $1,404.
well, once you get done with printing and all that shit, it's, you know,
Well, you just cut it in half.
he'll pocket a few $100 maybe. Which
Well, he's supposed to be giving it to charity.
the Alan doesn't want to eat dog food fund. So the by zine standard, I mean, if you treat it like a zine instead of like a real, you know, finger quotes, real publication, that's fair. I mean, that's pretty successful. So good for him. Good for both of them. We give him shit.
We give him shit, but we give him a good pitch. So if you're interested in like comic strips like badly written and badly drawn, this is the one for you.
Right.
The whole tooth.
Yeah, he means well, but it's also not. He's kind of not helping. He's not helping his own cause, and he's, you know, he's kind of like a comfort food throwback to what comic book people and the industry was like in the 80s and 90s, which is right there in the comic. It looks like all the strips are like based on 80s and 90s. So, hey, those were good times.
Well, I do think he has one Kingdom strip in there, which, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was the only kind of relatable one, I think, from modern times. All right, so
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, it's not worth it. We've got to move on.
Okay. Movies and TV. What are you seeing, John?
Bugger all. Let's have a look. Yeah, I haven't watched any movies. I did watch, I think it was a 6 or 8 episode Star Wars cartoon thing. The fuck was it called?
The Bad Batch or whatever.
No, it wasn't that. It was one of the characters died and she was brought back to life after being thrown in a big pile of gooey water. She was a baddie, but now she's a goodie. She worked with Darth Vader and all that. What was her fucking name?
The ball chick?
The Ventress ones? Oh,
Ventress. Yeah, that was her, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched it while I was doing other things because it was quite boring. It was like 10, 15. But it was.
I like those.
It was 10 or 15 minutes long, so I was booking things. So I just thought, I'll have that on the side. I'll listen to it while I'm doing things. So that's what I did.
When did that come out? That cartoon?
It just popped up on my fucking my high seas, so I just sort of got on my boat and rowed towards it. I don't know when it came out.
Was it CGI or was it
It was cartoon. I don't know what the fuck it was.
2D?
Oh
No, was it like CGI cartoon or like a flat cell animated looking thing?
well, I didn't really look at it that much, so I wouldn't be able to remember.
They look so vastly different that, like, if in 2 seconds you'd go like,
it was followable. That's all I care about.
Oh my god! All right,
I think it was 2D.
I'm pretty sure that was probably the 3D one because she was like, or the CGI looking one because she was a big deal in that, and then they got rid of her, and then they brought her back like much later in the series. So
it was one of the. It sort of went off on this tangent where two characters, when they were young, got involved in a bit of hoo-ha, and is it Bane or Kane or something like that with a hat, like a bounty hunter?
Was it Star Wars Tales of the Underworld?
That's the one.
Oh
yeah, that's the one.
That's 3D.
There we are. So
Dave Filoni did it, I think.
Oh, I did see his name. Every time it finished, his was the first name that popped up on screen.
I wonder if those are the ones that were on the website. There were some that were like on the website and never. Huh. Interesting.
But I've got a couple of things to watch this week because the what you call it, the Billy Idol documentary drops this week.
Oh,
weirdly, it drops at like 2 a.m. on Friday, but then the main thing in the TV guide says 9 o'clock Friday evening, and I'm like, well, I'll have already recorded it at 2 a.m. I'll be watching it well before then. So that should be quite good. Now they're using cartoon stuff in that to recreate stories from the past.
Yeah, they did that in the Sparks documentary too.
Yeah, so I've got that. I've also got that I Swear film to watch, which we just haven't been able to fucking fit in. But we're not seeing Samuel this weekend, so we'll fit it in there. And then I've also got fucking, let me just open this up to see what pops up. I've got one thing to watch, which is the Peaky Blinders film, which is called The Immortal Man. Oh, I have got Weapons to watch, but I just can't be arsed fucking watching it at the moment. So we'll watch the Peaky Blinders and that I Swear this weekend for definitely. But everything I'm watching on TV is all like holiday programs, people going to places. Vietnam with Bill Bailey, India with somebody else. And I think the next episode of Marshalls, episode 4, is probably out there today. Next week, we've got The Boys starting. Is it next week or 2 weeks' time? My calendar.
Should have Daredevil starting soon as well.
Yeah, The Boys starts on the 8th of next month.
Still like Marvel.
Well, so I've got things to watch, but it's just fitting it all in. Because I've been fucking so busy fucking sorting things out. It's unbelievable. It's like, fuck me, I'm supposed to be winding down, getting close to death. I seem to be fucking doing more and shagging myself out. Not as knackered as Rossy though.
Yeah, well, I'm just low energy. If I don't have the drink, I'm just low energy anyway. So
yes,
it's how it is.
And obviously, I have to beware because the world stopped in Kent because of a meningitis outbreak in Canterbury from a nightclub, and it went insane. And we're sat there laughing. Well, I'm laughing, going, "Oh, hang on a second. Meningitis isn't fucking, as far as I know, fucking airborne, floating around. You've got to be fucking right on somebody, fucking saliva and fucking bodily contact stuff to get most meningitis." And they actually admitted that.
Other? Oh, wow. Were they like licking each other in the club, like you see in the music videos?
A vape was used, and somebody said
that makes sense.
So 2 people have died. 2 young people have died, and they were all wearing masks. All these people going to get their fucking jabs and shit. And I'm laughing, going, it's a bit fucking late now, isn't it? You know, plus, unless you were fucking tonguing these people, you're not going to get fucking hurt. It's just like honestly, the local news, the half hour of local news for 2 nights was just that report. Every single reporter they got out of the fucking back room, and they got them all over fucking Kent to fucking report on this. It was insane. And I said to Carolyn, I said, right, I'm pausing this, going to do some stuff, come back, just fast forward it, meningitis, weather, meningitis, and that was it. I went, what a fucking joke. They were terrifying people because all these fucking loser kids were going, ah! And I'm thinking, look, the fucking the virologist or whatever the person was said, this will only be fucking transmitted by fucking saliva, extreme close bodily contact, obviously meaning sex and shit. And I'm just thinking, so what the fuck are you all panicking about? You're supposed to be intelligent going to fucking university. I hope you all fucking die, you fucking idiots.
Which goes back
I'm amazed. I'm amazed you listen to local news.
Oh, it's the TV, because I don't watch the BBC local news. I watch the ITV one because it's funnier.
I can't remember the last time I watched local news over here. Must have been like 7, 8 years.
Yeah, but your local news will be fucking ginormous coverage, wouldn't it? You know what I mean?
Well, it'll be all of Phoenix.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the equivalent of Kent, size-wise, but I was just like, it's you have 2 reporters. One will always do the 2 reporters who do the funny stories, but one will always do the worst funny stories.
Yeah.
And then you've got serious ones. And our political reporter from Phil, what was his name?
Phil McCracken.
No, it was funnier than that. It was Phil Hornby. So I used to say, oh, he loves trains and stuff, the Hornby train set. So, but yeah, Phil McCracken is one of my little jokes I like to do. But Phil, he retired just before all the madness about 2 or 3 years ago kicked off. And now we've got a young lad who does all the political reporting. But they showed Phil Hornby, when he left that episode of the news, they showed like a compilation of his life on the TV. And fuck me, did he put some pounds on?
Wow.
I bet he didn't like watching that because he looked fucking svelte when he first started like 40 odd years ago. Now he was like a fucking beach ball.
Jeez.
They should have reversed it.
Yeah, but it's like I enjoy it because I'm hoping tonight they'll be wanking over the fucking the movie shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, it'll still be the end of the meningitis. That's what we'll have. But it's like, fuck me. Even the main ITV news was starting with it for a couple of days because it was like, oh, and I'm sat there in disbelief watching all these people panicking over it. Just saying, fuck me, grow up, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
But if you look on Twitter, you'll see people put posts up where it's like, oh, the government put in a big fucking deal for anti-meningitis stuff last fucking year to get this, and I'm thinking I'm not bothered reading any more of it because that's where Rossy would go. They're basically saying it was all planned to release the meningitis. What, did they have a special vape? Did they put in that nightclub?
See, even I think that's dumb. But I will say, like I've been saying for the last couple of years, we've gone from people wiping down their Amazon packages and wearing masks and taking shots and all that to some of the most disgusting public behavior I've seen. I've never seen so much stuff going into kids' mouths at work.
What the fuck are you watching?
Why are you watching? What OnlyFans site is this, Rossy?
I'm looking at
I think you're on your wrong podcast.
No,
I think that's your other podcast you do.
I'm looking at the kids while the parents aren't.
Don't be looking at the kids when the parents aren't watching.
And our merchandise, the kids are like sticking shit in their mouths to experience it, apparently. And then they leave their food. You're gonna get us banned. We leave. I'm finding someone. The other day, we have this little wooden train table.
Oh no! Now there's toys included.
Yeah, so I was like, "What's that?" Yeah, well, that wooden track. Hey, so here comes the train, choo choo, into the tunnel.
Jesus Christ! Stop it! You know everyone's visualizing the filth version of what you're saying.
Of course they are, because our listeners are a bunch of perverts. Hi, Chris. Hi, Pete.
I Pete.
Hi, Jason. So,
Oh, dear me.
so anyway, the other day I was like, what's the, because we're always finding like tissues, napkins, half-drunk drinks, food. It's like, oh boy, you left that for me to put away right after, COVID didn't go away when Biden said the thing was over, but whatever. So there was this wad of white paper left on our kids' train table, and I was like, I wonder what they left me this time. So it was this wet.
So after you licked
Wet-
it,
It was a wet. No, I didn't have to lick it. It was a wet wipes and a bunch of band-aid, the things you peel off the back of a band-aid, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
oh, so somebody treated a wound and then bandaged it up and left me the paperwork to pick up with my bare hands and put away. That's awesome. So, oh, but okay, side story again. You guys are both parents. So let me ask you, like, old parenting versus new parenting. So like I said before, we have a little wooden table that's got like a wooden train set. It's not like stuck on it. But it's like you can assemble and put together this little wooden train set. So the kids, and A, it's filthy because we never wipe it down, and B, most of the pieces are missing because they either get stolen or the parents don't watch that the kids are still holding on to the pieces as they walk out of the store, whatever. But the kids fucking love that thing. So to accommodate people playing with it and to give people a place to sit other than our hardwood bench, the powers that be brought in these cushions. They're like vinyl cushions that look like pieces of a tree stump. So you could put them all together and make like a tree trunk that's, maybe 5 feet tall. Or you could just put them on the floor and sit on them like cushions, which is what they're made for. But that stops no kid and no parent from stacking up as high as they can go and then knocking it over. And then there's this huge thump and crash, especially if it crashes into the train table, which we have to go check out every time it happens. And no parent stops their kid from doing that over and over and over again. So the main question is, so the other thing that they will do is they'll stack them up in twos and threes. The kids will stack them up in ones, twos, and threes, and then jump from one cushion to the 2 cushion stack to another one cushion, just kind of like make a little trail that they jump from one to the other. Mind you, the kids are about 4 feet tall and they're about 4 feet away from the train table. And if you miss one of them or slip, or the stack slips, one in the stacks flips out from the bottom, you're going to go head first right into that train table. Would you, as parents, discourage your kid from doing that so that they don't go head first into the train table? That's not.
Yes.
I should disqualify John because he might get a laugh out of that. He would not discourage anybody else's
do stuff like that.
Yeah. John wouldn't discourage other kids from doing it because it would be something funny for him. But so you would discourage your kid from jumping from? Okay. No, I have to tell them. I have to be the bad guy to tell them, hey. And some kid, sure enough, did do that, exactly that. And so I was like, luckily I guess they were too embarrassed to do an incident report or whatever, and there was no blood involved. But I was like, God damn, these parents have no common sense. And this is one of the times when the parent was actually watching and wasn't on their phone even. So, well, the reason we have to get new slat wall for our shelves is because we have, you've got a lot of homes have that thing where there's like two metal strips, parallel strips, and you put those flat metal hooks or whatever that go underneath shelves, and then you put your wooden shelf on top of it, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You can see in your head.
Yep.
So we have that, and most retail stores, like for decades, have had such a thing, because it occurs to nobody to let their kid step on that and try to climb up on it. And so in doing so, they ripped out the wooden slat wall from the wall when their 60-pound kid steps on it. And then they act surprised, like, oh, and we're like, I guess we were supposed to have them bolted into the wall somewhere, but we kind of need them to be slat wall because we get new merchandise and it's different sizes and we have to move things around and change the space between the shelving to accommodate the size of the box and all that kind of thing. That's boring retail shit that no parent that comes into the store needs to think about, but they also, all they have to be concerned about is don't let your kid put their foot on our shelves and try to climb up it. But I guess even that's like too much to ask for these days. So there you go.
What movies or TV have you watched, Rossy?
Well, I have one for John, and I
Ooh.
don't know. John, what would you say the ratio of good recommendations to bad recommendations? What do you say? Even if you don't, even if you don't end up really liking it, what would you say?
It's
Like,
hit and miss. It's hit and miss with your madness.
yeah, I know, I understand.
But
So,
I like them I like them because when I watch certain things, I'm thinking, oh yes, this is the sort of stuff that Rossy fucking would thrive. And even Carolyn knows when I'm watching clips, and I'll say, who do you think would watch that? She's like, oh, Stephen would.
Okay, so at the time that I sent you the message to see War Machine, I was about 20 minutes in, and I was like, military, check, deaths, check, pretty good, just like endless action, check, reachers in it, check, gotta recommend this to John right now. And then, as you said in your review of it, as it played out, it got to be more like, okay, now I know how this is going to play out, and blah, 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 blah. It's very Netflix algorithm driven, just like, even though I don't think Wrecking Crew and what was the other one with the two presidents, Idris Elba, those movie and the Chris Hemsworth movies, all of those are made off of the same algorithm and are entertaining as you're watching them and then forgettable the minute it's over. So this one I'm going to recommend with the caveat that the ending feels like they just kind of rushed it, and some of the things that happen in it, you as an expert in firearms and actual real world violence will probably poo-poo it, but I found it very entertaining, and as somebody who's watching the cheap direct-to-video action genre just dry up, I'm willing to take one that's just pretty good and run with it. So this movie, I think it felt like a Scott Adkins movie that he didn't make, and the director is a stunt guy, and I don't know how many actual films he directed, but the stunts in action are pretty good, really good, and the main guy is not a great actor, but very, like, you like him right off the bat. So it's called Mexicali, and it does take place it does take place in Mexicali, Mexico, but the main actor, I believe, is Australian, and his first name is Bren something, Bren. And he was in I believe it was a vanity project that he wrote and directed about him having a karate studio. And I think I talked about it before. And that one was slow going until the end. And then like the last half hour is just, he must have had full access to this dojo, because they just beat the shit out of each other for half an hour at the end of the movie in this dojo. So that was the first thing I've seen him in. And then this one is, he's a former mercenary, and he's a farmer now. He's trying to just get a peaceful life, planting avocados in Mexicali. and he's in love with the girl who owns the farm, and everything's good. And you see his dog, which I forgot what they called it. It was like Wolf or something like that. So you see his dog, and you're like, and then you see the guys who are obviously the bad guys. You go, oh, it's going to be like a John Wick set in Mexico with an Australian guy. Nope, but it is like a John Wick movie that's set in Mexico, nonetheless. And the fights are great. And then you get to the end, and it's kind of like, okay, I was kind of believing everything. I was going along with everything to this point, but even I was like, the credibility was sort of stretched. That
Oh my God, the man from Del Monte is in it with his white suit.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, he's good. That guy's he's pretty good too. So there is a face turn that's kind of like, oh, really? Okay. And the girl trains for like, they don't say how long they were like holed up in this place, but you assumed it was like a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and she's as deadly as he is when it comes down to it at the end.
Oh yeah, I can see her training.
Yeah, she looks like she's like 98 pounds tops, and but can do all the things, and doesn't have PTSD the first time she kills a guy, so it's like it's fine. But I think as a person who appreciates good screen deaths and lots of action, it's not action, but it's very well paced. And I enjoyed the guy. Like, if he's now on my Statham list. So
oh my God,
him, Gerard Butler. My dad decided he didn't like Scott Adkins, but I'll still watch a Scott Adkins movie. And this guy now. So, are you watching the trailer?
Yeah, I've watched, and the first comment I've seen, been waiting on this one. Foster is the best martial artist out there making films. His Life After Fighting movie was pure, and then it's fire. Dude has multifaceted skills that also include weapons. Hurry up, March the 13th.
Yeah,
Stephen Ross.
The Life After Fighting, that's the one in the that takes place in the dojo.
Fuck me, you know as well.
Because I'd seen it. That was the first time I saw him. I was like, oh, this guy's cool, but the movie's not the best.
Did you watch it with your dad?
I watched both of them with my dad. He fell asleep, and which is happening more and more often. I said, hey, do you want me to leave? Yeah. Well, lots of things are dovetailing in that. So he's not doing a proper bed ritual and saying it's 9 o'clock. I am going to bed, and then put the CPAP machine on and just relax and go to sleep. He just watches TV, and an hour here, an hour there. When he falls asleep watching TV, it's not good. So yeah, he's another one I have to keep an eye on. So anyway, so that was all we saw. Flint, did you see anything, or is he still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What did you see?
I watched Young Sherlock on Amazon Prime. It's Guy Ritchie. And it does the shit that I fucking hate about modern movie making. Where
it's a lot.
Well, the bad guy is related to the good guy.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That kind of shit drives me crazy. And then Sherlock Holmes has a sister in it, but he doesn't have a sister in the books. This kind of shit. And his best friend is Moriarty.
Wow, it's just like Spectre all over again.
Yeah. But the guy who plays Moriarty is pretty funny. He gets some of the best lines. But overall, it's pretty decent. But that kind of stuff drives me fucking crazy. And I did watch Wicked for Good, the sequel.
Yay!
It's garbage. I can see why it wasn't nominated for any Oscars. It's too long, too much singing. The songs are instantly forgettable. It does have the origins. Of course, you have to do this. It has to have the origins of the Cowardly Lion, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man. They have to throw that in there, and then the Wizard, Jeff Goldblum, is a piece of crap. Right.
Well, you saw that coming from the first movie, so
yeah, they're all evil, and eventually there's a bait and switch at the end, and everybody ends up happy. So it's just weird. It's a weird. It was okay, but it was way too long. And man, Ariana Grande, I mean, it's like she just stepped out of a concentration camp. She's so thin.
Oh,
Oh
I
yeah, they
know.
all are now, aren't they?
All of them, yeah. That's
Oh,
why
it's horrifying.
Do you know
I'll
what?
tell you.
I never mentioned it at the time, but when uh, what's her name's fucking hell? Oh God,
Ozzy's
Aussie's.
daughter.
Oh, do you know what? It was on the Brit Awards, and we were just watching it on fast forward sort of thing, and I had to stop it, and I said to Carolyn, I said, "That's fucking Sharon Osbourne, and what's her name?" I said, "I
Yeah,
don't even recognize. I
Kelly.
recognize Sharon, but I did not recognize her at all."
Kelly, yeah,
Yeah.
too much.
It's
There's Cass.
yeah. It's like they have cheekbones that only Peter Cushing could love.
Oh yes. But it's
The
quite sad in the end because obviously the people who love her should be saying, "Look, you've gone a bit too far." But that's the
well,
sort of things.
do they love her? They love the money that she's bringing in. I hope that all of our corrupt shit doesn't infect other countries, because like right now I wouldn't want to be an Ozempic salesman in India. They do like,
Ozempic doesn't come from the U.S. It's a European drug
yeah, but I'm just
that they use
saying,
in Europe.
yeah, but I'm saying like our culture, the
Were you
Western,
being a pirate then?
the
Arr.
the our cultural influence in the West is, I just hope I hope they still keep the curvy girls over in India and Latin America. So
Well, talking about the TV stuff, I just watched the Dutton Ranch official teaser. It's just popped up mere minutes ago. It looks pretty good.
oh, so that's a real Yellowstone show,
It is a real one, yeah, because it's all over the place.
not like the fake one with
No,
the Marshals, which is just a procedural show with some of the actors and character names.
well, it is. It is in their universe.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's so written so completely
Oh
differently
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah. I
you
mean, obviously, he
know,
had to get rid of his wife.
right.
Well, thank God. There's
Yeah.
the other show I'm watching is Last One Laughing,
Oh yeah,
season 2, and it hasn't been disappointing. The 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 one comedian that plays Kunk, what's her name?
I know you mean
Oh, yeah,
the redhead.
Yeah, she's fantastic in it, and so is Bob Mortimer.
Hmm.
I'm only
Didn't he
on
go out
episode
straight
3.
away?
No, Mortimer's still in
Um,
there.
well, he didn't. Didn't he laugh when he was lifted up?
Yes, but that gets you a yellow card. You need to get 2 offenses to get kicked out.
Because I've never
But
watched it. I just watched clips.
Punk did a really funny one where she reads out that Dylan Thomas poem real serious,
Right.
and as she's going through it, she's farting, and but she's
Hmm.
doing it in a real because fart jokes are still funny. She's
Of
Sure.
doing
course.
such a serious face that the one of the other comedians, she actually a two-time BAFTA award winner. She's a black comedian, just cracked up laughing at the end. She couldn't. She had tears streaming down her face trying to hold in the laugh.
Brilliant.
And
Hmm.
when she let out the laugh, it was like she was mourning. She was in grief because she was held in the laugh so much. Her laugh is so amazing. Like Kunt got 2 of them in the one go with the farty poem. There's a clip of it on X that you can see of her reading it. It's
Hmm.
so funny. It is so funny. She's so good. So she's in it. Bob Mortimer. Uh, what's that car? Not Jimmy Carr, the other car.
I know you mean the
Yeah, the
teeth.
gay guy. The gay guy. Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, it's they got like a group of pretty good comedians this time around. Like in usually with shows like this, they'll have probably one A-lister or maybe 2, and the rest will just be up and coming comedians. But
Hmm.
they went for some big guns UK, in the UK. Now, I mean, they're UK famous, which means nobody knows them over here.
Right.
Right. So but it's good. It's good stuff. I'm actually I was in tears laughing at it the other day. The kind of shit they get up to try and put each other off. Do you know the
Well,
premise of the show, Rossy?
is it like make me laugh show where you try to get somebody to laugh and they
Well,
lose if
they put 6 comedians in a room,
Mhm.
and they have 6 hours to make you get eliminated when you laugh. And
I
all
see.
6 of them, and they have to do like different skits and stuff like that, and they'll bring in different they'll bring in different guests to try and make them laugh too.
So it's sort of like Big Brother and make
Yeah,
them
but
laugh. Okay,
it's
interesting.
really funny because they'll say something and realize that they just gave the other person an opening to make them laugh, and they'll get up off the chair and just walk away, so they don't have to
Mm,
laugh in the middle of a conversation.
right.
So it's some of it's pretty funny,
That's
but
pretty cool.
yeah,
So
it's a
as
good show.
we
Don't listen to the German one. Don't watch the German one because even if they're trying to make people laugh, it always comes across as angry because of their
That's
accent.
right.
sure. The, as we march toward idiocracy, pretty soon we'll have like everything comes back to 2000 ass, and then it'll just be John farting into the microphone, and
And
it'll be
video
it.
clips of a guy, and a video clips of a guy being hit in the balls.
Well,
That's
that'll
it.
be me.
Well, I did have something interesting that you'll enjoy, then be sad by, that happened when I was out at work the other day, Mr. Ross.
What?
So I was driving down a country lane, and because I'm high up, I get a good old view into the darkness of the trees either side.
Oh
And I saw
no.
two, it doesn't involve death yet. And
Yeah.
I saw two beautiful looking deer just stood by the side of the road, just slightly in the tree line, looking
Uh-huh.
at me as I drove towards them, which was really nice. It's always nice to see wildlife like that,
Mhm.
because I had a whole bloody 20, 30 herd of them go across the road in front of me the other week.
Uh-huh.
But then I saw a badger in the distance, and I can't remember the last time I saw a live badger crossing the road. I've normally seen the leftovers of a badger, but this time
Yeah.
it was well in the distance, and I saw it scurry across the road, so that was okay.
Mm.
But when I got in my car, when I finished, and I was driving back through the town, and I was just going past the police station, I saw two pigeons land on the road on my side, and I think that the male was the one. Well, it must be the male. He didn't look. He was too engrossed in the female in front of him. So as I put the foot down, I just saw a load of feathers come from the front of the car. But the female managed to fly away because she was being observant. He was probably thinking, "I'm getting my end away now," and then he died. How sad.
Wow, what a way to
That's
go.
I've killed quite a few pigeons right outside the police station. I don't know what it is. They always land there. It's like they just want to die.
Wow. Okay. Well, at least it was, you know what? I've never seen a badger in real life in
No,
any capacity, not at the zoo, certainly not
yeah, they're
in the
big buggers.
wild. Yeah. Yeah. They look
But when
they
when I see all this wildlife, I always think of you and your love of the animals and stuff.
oh yeah. The Facebook's really gotten to be even more trash than the last time I said they were trash. And it's, I mean, there's like all these like dumbass groups that are coming up with like with names that don't even sound like they were created by humans. They sound like they're bot groups. It's like, I remember the 70s. And it's like, yeah, I
Oh
remember when
yeah.
I clicked a like on a picture of a slee stack 2 weeks ago, and like now magically there's this new group and they've got a
Mm,
picture of Land of the Lost in it. And it's like, I'll bet you're gonna like this too. And it's like, yeah, I remember that time like on the Space Chicks group, clicked a picture of one of the girls from Battlestar Galactica and said, yeah, I like that. And it's like, Battlestar Galactica Forever group. You like this?
yeah.
It's a Cylon. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Mm,
So, and it's less and less, it's more and more of these fake ass groups and
yes.
less of like actual friend. Like I have to go to your page. I'll go like, I can't believe John hasn't posted something in like 3 weeks. And it's like, oh yeah, it's like, here he is at the concert and here he is at the restaurant. Here he is. I didn't, you told me about it, but I didn't know there were pictures. So here
Yeah,
we
because
go.
the weird thing is, you'll get a notification that'll say, Stephen has just posted 3 minutes ago. So I'll go onto your page, I'll follow the link
Hmm.
to your page, and it's like 6 days ago
Yeah.
with a load of comments. And I'm like, why am I getting told it's just been posted when it's been up for
Hmm.
6 days?
My that notifications thing is garbage too, because it's like 2 or 3 are usually it's something group, and then the rest of them are like, so and so highlighted something for you to look at, and it's like, oh man, somebody I sent a friend request to years ago and forgot about is using the highlight thing like every fucking day for everything that they post, and it's like, you know, and it's promote shit that I don't. Then it's not anything interesting either. It's like they're promoting shit that I don't care about anymore. So yeah, so yeah, it's I mean, I don't know if it's the way I treated it, and maybe I used it in a way you're not supposed to use it. Now it's
No,
getting back
that's
to
the way
me
it is. That's the way it is everywhere.
for everybody. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Well,
Right,
I've
you
got,
guys want to go
well,
ahead, John?
I've got three interesting, fun things in different versions. Quickly stuff. So I'm listening to loads of military podcasts and stuff, and there was two SAS blokes talking to each other on one. I listened to it this morning. Guess what, Mr. Ross? It was nearly 2 hours long, but the journey I was doing to Southampton was 2 hours 10 minutes. So I listened to the whole thing in normal time. So he tells this ex-SAS bloke tells a story about him doing the commando course and the para course and all his other stuff and all the insane things where he got banned from the Falklands, and he was a bit of a pisshead, right? So he tells this story about the commando course, about when he was on it, and the whole course went up to the beginning of one of the physical exercises on the Saturday morning in a bus, and how they all got beasted after it. That's the short version of it. And I'm thinking, that's the course I was on, because I've told the story before. Basically, everyone was injured. I wasn't, but a lot of people had injuries, and so this sergeant, who was a transport sergeant from his unit, said, "I'll do this," and we were saying I wouldn't because we're going to get found out, and then we all got found out and beasted for about 6 hours. So he tells his story, and I'm like, so I put on the YouTube channel. I was on that bus. I'm gonna have to look at my course photograph and see where you are and how you've changed. And there we are in the front row. There's Captain Gordon, Private Campion, which is him, Corporal Pickford, Lance Corporal Doherty, Lieutenant Atkinson, and Lance Corporal Guest, and then next to him, Lance Corporal Burdess. So he's 5 people away from me in the front row. And he's filled out a bit since he's left the military.
Hey,
I honestly couldn't believe it. I just thought, Jesus, as soon as you start that story, I thought, wow, that's interesting. So there's that one. That's quite interesting. Next
Small
one.
world.
We finally had a smart meter fitted the other day. And it was interesting because the bloke who was putting it in knew our Sam because his wife works at the same school as Carolyn. So that was that funny bit. But he was telling me about the smart meters because it took ages for ours to connect up to the web. He said there's a posh, well, they think they're posh, called Kings Hill outside of the town. It was a purpose-built villagey, tiny. It's bigger than a village, way smaller than a town, Kings Hill. And up that area, they all have a lot of problems connecting up to the internet. So their smart meters don't work properly. So when people think they're charging their cars up mega cheap, they're not, because the smart meter doesn't know what's going on. Because a farmer had a pylon taken down out of his field. He said, I'm not having that anymore. He got it took down. And then the council were all trying to figure out where to put it, but one council leader didn't want it anywhere in the town. So all of that area of thousands of people can't get good smart connections. And he was telling me there's places all over the country like that, but the government don't tell you this. You know what I mean? Now I knew it must be like that because when I've driven in them areas, the phone's dropped out. I might be on the phone talking to Carolyn, just normal phone call, not internet phone call, not like WhatsApp or something. And the phone drops, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, everything's gone. You know, apart from, which always annoys me, 999 calls. No matter where you are, you can get a 999 call, which means the signal must be available, right? So anyway, so that was interesting from him about the old smart meter. But we got to go on now. So the final bit, you're going to love this. So it was the Saturday before Mothering Sunday. And I said to Karen, I said, right, we're going to get a load of food for tomorrow to go up your mum's, and we'll all have this lovely food from expensive shops and shit. But we'll get a load of cakes from a place in the town, which makes these beautiful cakes, and you can get like, so I've said it before, you get
Did
six.
you say Mothering Sunday?
That's what it's called. That's the technical term. It's
That's
not Mother's Day.
What are you living on fucking Wicker Island where the Wicker
No,
Man
that
is?
isn't. That, you Google it. You Google it. It's Mothering Sunday.
Why don't you call Britain Albion then instead? Because that's the proper name.
No, it's Mothering Sunday. You Americans
When's
just
the
don't
next
know
time
the
you're
real
going to,
words anymore.
Are you going to Londinium for the day?
No, that's the Roman term.
That's the correct term when you were a conquered people.
Yeah.
No, I was never conquered because I was never alive then.
We had to
So
come
anyway-
over and sort you out when the
So
when the
anyway, I says to
Londinium
Karen,
people-
I said, I'll drive up the street, and then I'll drop you two off. You go and get the cakes, and then I'll sort of like wait here, and if I see a traffic warden, I'll move, and then I'll come back, that sort of thing. So anyway, I stops the car outside of a theatre, which is a tiny theatre in a town.
You
It's
call Father's
just-
Day Fathering Sunday.
No, because it's different.
It's
So
farthing day.
so I'm there, right? And then a traffic warden comes up and he looks in the window and he says, you can't stop there. And because I'd seen him coming up, I just rolled the car forward. And I said, I haven't parked. And then I started reversing. And he still, and I'm shouting through the closed window. Then I opened the window. I said, yes. He goes, you can't stop there. I said, I've not stopped. I haven't put the handbrake on. I said, as you can see, I'm moving. He goes, you can't do that. I said, I think you'll fucking find I can, mate. I said, don't you tell me what to do. I said, I haven't parked. I said, go on then, try and put the ticket on while I'm moving. We'll see where it goes there, because it's got to be a parked vehicle. But then what I did was, I just kept driving up and down the street, doing U-turns and driving up. It was only like 20 meters, and I just kept doing it. And as I was doing it, I was laughing.
Was he on the
at him.
front of the car while you were doing it?
No. And then when Cowling came out, I said, watch this. So he'd moved down to the other side of the street, and I opened the window, and I was laughing really loud, and he looked at me in disgust, and I just thought, yeah, you knew you couldn't fucking do anything, you twat. But that's the job I would do if I wasn't doing anything. If I was bored, I wouldn't mind being a part of the thing, because I would get like the world record numbers. I would just go around to like midnight, going to any car that's on WL lines. Right, got you. So there's my funny little stories. But now,
Wait, I have a question.
Go.
I mentioned it in the
what
before,
about
but-
Mothering Sunday?
No. But so we're 2 progs behind. Are we gonna
Yes.
ring it?
We're just do the one.
Okay. And
Yeah,
also,
we're a bit late in the day.
okay, so go ahead and talk about the cover, because I gotta drain my bag. It's
Fucking hell. He said he
This
was
is
going to
the
drain
too
his
much
bag.
information.
He said he was
Too
going to
much
drain his
information
bag,
podcast.
people.
Go ahead.
You know when you get a toothpaste, people, and you're near the end, he'll be doing that now to squeeze every bit out. Anyway, let's drop.
Pew, pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble, Grub.
Right, Prog 2473. You have a really good cover by Mark Sexton. Do you like it?
Yes, this is the classic cover for me. Dread fills the whole page, basically. Storm the Satellite, again, you've ruined it with that. You know what I mean? Sod that. Dread is right up there. You cannot miss him on the shelf. The whiteness of the 2000 AD pops from the page. Perfect. And it's an action shot.
Yeah, all those things that you said. Also, it looks like Mark Sexton is channeling a bit of Steve Dillon, because the face looks very Steve Dillon.
Oh yes, yeah, the jowly bitness, yeah.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Well done, Mark. That's a great cover.
And there's just enough in there to intrigue people who might be seeing the prog for the first time in a while, because you just see a bit of Dread's sleeve missing and his fingers. So there's a bit of like, oh, what's going on here? So they might actually open the prog to see what's going on.
Yeah, good stuff. Rossy probably read Droid Life. I didn't, so we'll just skip it. Judge Dredd, Climate Crisis Part 3, Rob Williams, Ned Hartley, PJ Holden, Jack Davies, and Annie Parkhouse.
On weather control, Judge Lane comes upon Judge White, who says he's injured, but she can't see a wound. And then White shoots her, even though she has the drop on him. And once he's about to finish her off, he reveals himself to be Face Change. Meanwhile, Dredd and the other red shirt take out the enemy while they save Tech Judge Miles. And then as their backs are turned, he pulls his gun out. But before he can shoot Dredd, Redshirt warns Joe and intervenes, taking a shot to his chest plate. Amazingly, Joe can't get a clear shot, so activates his magnetic glove and runs over to Miles and somehow rips his face off. Meanwhile, the widow lass has all those rich bods pay her 10,000 by the look of it, all by fingerprint verification. At the same time, Face Change reroutes climate control so that it happens inside weather control. This messes up Dredd and the other judges who look to be electrocuted. Meanwhile, back with the rich scum, it seems that the widow lass is really Ula Bint, and every single rich twat is now dead, or looks to be dead, as she has coated the fingerprint reader with a fast acting poison. Now here are my points. No name on Lane's badge, page 1. She has the drop on him with a more powerful and accurate weapon at close range. Interesting that. Miles has the edge to take out Dredd for ages, but doesn't. How does the glove pull off his face? Also, why did Dredd not just shoot him once he was closer? How has Dredd's right arm got speed lines but his left not? How does climate control even work inside the station? What the actual? How fast is this fast-acting poison, as who knows how long it would take for the last person to touch it after the first person touched it? Those are just mere points that rip the story apart.
Okay, so I'm going to use DC Comics logic. Mind you, this is the same company. DC Comics are like, oh, the Flash can throw a punch, but the air from the punch will fly across the room and hit the guy in the face as an air ball. Or, oh, the Flash can vibrate through walls because he vibrates so fast. That kind of DC Comics logic. So maybe...
Being the same logic they use for the speedsters in Marvel as well.
Pretty much. But DC did it. DC was stupider first. So the magnetic glove might be attracting the iron. Well, this is also Marvel logic because Magneto does the same kind of shit. Maybe the glove attracted the iron in his blood, and that's what.
No, because that's not what the glove's purpose is for.
Oh God,
it's magnetic.
No, it wouldn't work that way. You're applying stupid superhero logic to Dredd.
That would mean
I'm not the one doing it. That's
no, Rob Williams is doing it.
Right. That would mean as soon as you turn that glove on, anything that's metallic, that's got more metallicness than the iron in his blood, his hand would go straight to it. So his hand wouldn't even go. As soon as you turn that on, it would go straight to the roof or the floor or something else. You know,
I'm not saying it actually makes sense. I'm saying in comic book logic that would probably be the...
Yeah, but you expect better though. You expect better from Dredd though.
Well, hell yeah. This would be the no prize winning explanation that you'd come up with after the fact, because the way it's presented, it doesn't make any sense.
But it's like all that John said, that like there's so much stupidity in this, like operating weather control inside weather control. That's one of the most stupidest things.
I couldn't even believe that.
It's like why would that even be an option? Because wouldn't if there were sprinklers, and if there was an air conditioning system based on turbines and all that, how fast would it have to? How fast would? And then like I don't remember if it was this installment or the next one where there's like lightning in there too. But that could just be things short-circuiting. Like everything I come up with, like to give them like, well, maybe it just makes it stupider if you come up with an excuse. So it's like, how fast would those turbines have to be going, and why would they even make that an option that the turbines that control the air conditioning system in there could go that fast, and that there would be that much like torrential sprinkler system, like. How much fire would there have to be in there for them to make an option like, well, someday there might be a horrific fire and we're going to have to make it like a tsunami in this place. So to me, that's the one that is like, no, even if it's short circuiting and it's just dumb. It is
And then
just dumb.
then instead of creating their own villain, they have to bring back Ula Blint, who last we heard from her, I think she was still in prison with her husband. So in the ISO cube. So it's like, dude, way to piss on shit on everything. I mean, the writers are terrible.
Well, it's that writer. He's always terrible. Did is that one of his characters though?
No, that was John Wagner's. That was John Wagner's character.
That's what I thought.
She was called the Black Widow, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a John Wagner name. So, yeah,
the artwork as well, like the speed lines that PJ puts in for no reason whatsoever in a lot of these panels. It's like, what are you doing, man? Jesus Christ.
He's probably been reading a lot of One Piece to see what the kids are up to these days.
Yeah.
So
apart from all the stupidity and everything else, not bad.
Well, I mean, we complain about the standing around talkingness of all the other strips, so at least there's
that's your Adventure in Trumpland reference, because when Trump says we took out their navy, we took out their army, we took out this and that. Apart from that, they're doing pretty good.
All right,
move on. Hearn and Shook, Power Trip, Part 11, David Barnett, Lee Millward, Gary Caldwell, and Arnie Parkhouse.
All right, so there's about 4 pages of characters standing around talking, and basically they don't vote Hearn into their God Club, but they come up with another way, which Ian McKellen encourages him to do. So the way they're going to do it is he's going to be the Horn God half the time, and he's going to be himself the other half the time. They don't say like how many, like 6 months is one, 6 months is the other, or 1 month off, 1 month on, 1 month off. They'll figure that out later. All the gods think that that's a great idea, and that frees him up to be able to go, instead of having to do god shit, he's freed up to go find the girl. So they all disappear, and that's like 4 pages of talking. Then they sit around and talk for a couple of pages to come up with the plan of how they're going to get the girl back. They reintroduced the guys who do the conspiracy podcast. They call themselves the Avengers, that if the Avengers were a bit shit, which is actually kind of funny. And they're going to hit up the St. Michael people over in Stonehenge.
In where?
Stonehenge, where the demons dwell.
Do you know what? Stonehenge is one of the shittest places that we have in the country. We got other ones like that actually bisect villages and stuff. The ginormous, they're fantastic. But everyone loves Stonehenge.
When you were the one that said that Stonehenge, they put it wrong. They put the rocks on top of the rocks that weren't supposed to be there like that.
If you look at I'm sure it was the Victorian times, there's pictures of them putting the mantles on top of stuff, and it's like, oh, hang on a second. Yeah.
So it didn't actually look like that.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I would imagine it's shit because there's a bunch of goddamn hippies there all the time anyway.
They were there the other day to see spring. So when at sunrise, there was hundreds, if not 1,000 of them all there.
Fuck.
And I'm like,
so many hippies, not enough bullets.
Oh God.
All right. So what do you think of it?
I did laugh at exactly the same place Rossy did with the old, just like the Avengers, but a little bit shitter. I thought that was funny, and it was quite a nice image as well with the 2 internet bods sort of in the background of it. Weirdly, I kept seeing, as soon as I saw it, I kept seeing that sort of stance all over the place. So on the 3rd page on the top right hand panel where you can just see his thumbs where he's holding his hands up, right? Where he's just in an inset panel on the top right. I got half the votes, and he's got his hand. It's weird because you can just see his thumbs.
Yeah.
You see it? Right?
Yep.
And then if you look at the bottom of the page, she's doing that stance with her hands there. Look at the opposite page. She's doing that stance again over there. It was like, oh, Why is everyone standing like that? It must have been a thing he just thought, you know what, I'm going to start doing this more often. But I did like the panel when they were sat in the front room with the fire blazing and the dog between them with the absolutely knackered sofa. That was quite good. Do you know what? I actually enjoyed this part of the whole. I hate the Pat Millsian build-up of, like, well, it's normally 7, but it wasn't this time. He has to pass all these tests. It bores me. To me, it's filler. But I did enjoy this sort of, like, I'll do 6 months of this and 6 months of that. So I actually, it's at the end. It is the end for now. I did enjoy the ending, not the build-up.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Okay. Go
I
ahead,
don't hate it.
Rossy.
I enjoy it ish, and it's like I said, if Dread was really strong and there was 2 or 3 other mostly action strips in there that were pretty good, A or B quality, and then there was like a Future Shock to just try out some new talent, and then this, I'd say that's a great prog. But because this is like the best story well, one of the better stories in the thing, it's like, okay. So
All right. Thargs Thrillers presents Who is Adrian Apollo, Liam Johnson, Steve Austin, John Charles, and Rob Steen.
okay, is this me? So
Yes.
Space James Bond is reporting to Space M, and reporting back about his mission, where he bangs this alien chick, and while she's resting afterwards, he breaks into her safe and steals this key. They do a little fighty fight thing, and then he's reveals he's a shadow operative on behalf of the Empire of Humanity, and he explains about the key and something he's going to prevent a war. There's a space warlord called Meltzar who's going to use this weapon to wipe Cuisinart and Brigadier 4 off the star map, and that those aren't the real names. I don't care. And so the Space M says, and she lets you leave just like that. And so he leaves and catches a taxi and is going to save some lives. What did you think?
I think the colorist messed up.
Really?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, the last page, when the hologram or whatever in green is talking, you see how the black areas of him are filled in green,
Mm-hmm.
right? The colorist didn't do that for the first page, which means it was a mistake that Steve Austin left those areas for him to color in black, so he could have the green hue on it, and he messed it up. So, but the artwork's pretty good. It's
well, John Charles did work for AP back in the day, so that's mistakes are to be expected.
Austin's artwork is pretty good, better than the last story he did. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes.
I gave him something more interesting to draw.
Yeah.
It's to do a sexy chick and a sexy dude in a fight. So hey.
Yeah. So I did like that. But it's part 1, so you'll have to see where it goes. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting opener. I did love the cityscape on page 1. That was my favourite imagery. There was one bit of imagery that was a bit strange, was on the penultimate page, where she sort of like puts her hands up in the boxing position. His chest, the shadow above his 6-8 pack, looks a bit weird.
Well, it looks as if his stomach is caving in.
Yeah. But apart from that, it was an enjoyable opener. The only problem with an alien-type person with them feelers at the front, at the top of the head, reminds me of Star Trek. I always get that feeling of that character that's in that TV series. But apart from that, it was an interesting opening. I want to see where it's going to go.
Yeah, it was fun. I thought more Guardians of the Galaxy, but
I can see what you mean with that.
The classic trope, I guess you could say.
Yeah, what would have been? Sorry, Well, I'm sorry, I'll go to the penultimate page again. Sorry for interrupting there, Rossy.
No, it's
What
fine.
would have been nice would have been, you know, that panel at the top where she's doing all the fighting with him.
Hmm.
They've chopped off her little antennae thing. If they'd have just let them pop out of the panel, even though it's not a proper panel,
Yeah.
yeah, that would have been quite good. But yeah, okay then.
It was fun. I liked it. Good artwork. Good to see Stone Cold Stephen Austin given something interesting. He's doing a good job.
Yeah. All right. Brink, The Call of the Void. Get it? Call of the Wild. Part 2.
Yeah.
Dan Abnett, INJ Coulbard, and Simon Boland.
All right. So we're on the moon now in this lunar colony. And now I have read the next installment, and this is kind of a fake out
You don't
that's
have to
going
let
on
people.
here.
You don't have to let people in on that. You're ruining the magic of the podcast.
Well, we said that we're behind, so I mean, what the hell? It's obvious we're like 2 weeks behind if you're following with the progs anyway. So anyway, this Castaneda chick from the previous installments, the lady with one arm, she shows up, and you think that that's her narration as a letter to somebody named Bill, and the text boxes are saying that this lunar thing is garbage and it smells bad and the people here are the worst and blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, she's getting her Britney Spears shaved haircut. She goes to her hotel, and the narration says that the hotel is nasty, but it's next to the HSD tower. She takes a shower. She seems like disturbed about something, but she pulls herself together and struts out and goes to see the footprint on the moon out in front. Well, they don't reveal that, but she reports Castaneda and then has a
They
chat
got
with
that from the movie set and put it outside to make it look real.
Right. They found it in Stanley Kubrick's backyard in his storage shed. So Castaneda is actually having a conversation via the little wrist bracelets with Bridget. Bridget's got a new uniform. Castaneda's kind of like installed as a agent, and Bridget's going to try to make her official, like an official consultant. And then this blonde lady shows up at her door, who's the Samuel L. Jackson looking character. She's got his job now. She's taken over. Bridget complains about her uniform, which, knowing Dan Abnett, will probably play in later. Castaneda's like looking at the lunar footprint from Stanley Kubrick's shed when this dude comes along and tries to hit on her. They trade names, and he walks away, and it basically looks like Reacher with a bad haircut. And that's where we are. That was the slow burn that was this installment of Brink.
I do love his artwork. The shower scene of her just like down in the shower with the shower on top of her was nice. Nice panel. Shows she's contemplating stuff or thinking about stuff. Nice. Yeah, just it's just the usual, isn't it?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I like Brink a lot with a question mark on the end, and I like it, but I like it as I'm reading it in the prog. And if I don't remember what had happened before, I will go back and reread 4 installments to see how everything's connecting and how it works in with the new one. And I enjoy that, and sometimes I enjoy it more when I'm rereading it. But for some reason, I just don't like enough to rebuy the whole thing as a trade and sit down and read the whole thing in one sitting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's like what John said, that if they were to put all the story together in one big volume, like 400, 500 pages, it'll be worth getting and reading like that. But in these little installments, it kind of hampers it.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that's going to cost. It's been going on for so long. If you made an omnibus of the whole thing, you're not getting away for less than $50 to reread this whole story.
What's wrong with that? the comic omnibuses that you find in the stores. You know what I mean? You see really thick ones with 1,000+ pages in. If you want something that's excellent and it's got a decent amount of stuff and it's going to be like, you know, that'll take me a while to read and I'll thoroughly enjoy it. You pay the money. You pay for the decent story, decent art.
No,
and the
because Rossi's doing, let's see, 300 pages divided by 50 equal. That's like $1 a page.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind that. If it's in an omnibus, I kind of don't mind. Actually, no way does it come close to $1 a page because those Micronaut omnibuses. Oh, you're slow. You're getting slow, old man.
I was just checking some of my omnibuses leaning across the desk while you said that terrible word.
Yeah, so those are $125 for the omnibus, but you get over 500 pages. So, and I know that every single page is going to be of the highest quality in that. So, but like with
So
this
you're
one,
saying that I&J Culbard's artwork isn't of the highest quality?
it's not the Micronauts. All right, that's
the second one John missed.
He's slacking. He's beyond caring anymore. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, as a personal enjoyment thing. Like, if somebody hadn't read the series before and you want to say, like, and also you wouldn't want to.
Yeah, you wouldn't take a gamble on it, would you?
No, and we said that before. Like, part of the great thing about 2000 AD, when it's at its strongest, like if it was again a great Dread story, 2 good action strips, this maybe even something like Shuck and Hearn, and like a really good Future Shock where you discover like a new talent or whatever, or you get to see someone like Alan Moore cut his teeth, then everything would be fine. And then, but like now, and we would really enjoy it a lot more. But we're back and forth where like the 2 slow burnist strips in the Prog are like among the best, and that's, to me, that doesn't sound healthy. But it's and the other thing is you could either, like, if an omnibus, I'm saying like, couldn't be less than $50, even if you just collected everything so far, and each arc of it's got to be like the equivalent of $20. So, and this is arc 7 or something like that. So you're in it for like $140 if you want to buy the whole thing. And I'm like, is this story worth $140? The quality of the writing's great, the quality of the artwork's great, but would I rather spend that money on 7 movies that I didn't already have that I really liked? That's probably where I would go with it. So,
how long has been bringing around? Do you remember when it first appeared?
No,
it was like 8 years ago or something.
At least, I think it's been a while.
I've got the first book signed by them because they did a special signing over the hill in Chatham. No, Rochester it was. So I went over for that. But that wasn't that long ago, as in, I don't think it was like a decade.
But that was when they collected it. Didn't it take them like 2 or 3 arcs to?
I can't remember. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and each one of these arcs, I don't remember if the first ones were as long as some of the later ones, but like each of these arcs is like 20+ installments, and they'll like even go into. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're coming up on the Christmas issue. We're just gonna publish episode number 17 in the middle of the Christmas issue. We're not going to stop it. Just keep it rolling, because they go on forever. And if it's 52 weeks in the year, sometimes you have like almost half a year of Brink. So, it's, so I'm thinking at least 10 years.
Anyway, there's one question we need to answer. Is in the lady with one arm. How does she clean her right arm?
With great difficulty.
That's what I thought.
Long stick.
Fucking hell.
With a rag on a stick.
Yes.
Well, I got it. Brink has been going since the 19th of April, 2016.
Yeah, my
almost
God, it's
almost 10
10th
years.
anniversary coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I was mostly right.
Decade.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. The Discarded. Part 11. Pete Milligan, Kieran A.I. McKeown, Jim Boswell, and Simon
Oh
Bowell.
God.
Flashback, and Vera has a tiny bomb implanted, which will go off, killing the chip, but not killing her. As if. Now, she's in front of her dad, remembering what she's had to get where she is. Now she's remembering what she had to do to get where she is right now, and she doesn't like it. Meanwhile, the chip tells Axon to purge her, but he doesn't want to, so he gets chained to punch him out cold, only for the chip to rip off his arm. Axon then punches his own chin, dislocating it by the look of it, to stop the chip for a moment, and then he tells his daughter to kill him, but she rips the bomb out, and then it looks like she's about to squeeze it. Ooh.
So after he
Right.
punches himself in the face, shouldn't it read like, "Huh,
That's exactly what I thought.
kill me"? Because the
I
art
mean,
doesn't match the dialogue at all.
I've got to say, it takes some power to dislocate your own jaw with a punch. That's pretty impressive going, isn't it?
It was the AI.
No, because
AI.
the AI doesn't want him to kill himself. Yeah,
Yes.
he wants the chip to stay alive. If he dies,
Yeah,
the AI might die with him.
you want me to punch you? Quit punching yourself. You want me to punch you? Quit punching yourself.
Does that take you back to when you were a kid and you grabbed your brother's arm? Because we did that with my sisters, grab their hands and make them slap themselves in the face. And then we'd say, look, mum, how Dawn's hitting herself. Look, look.
Yep. Yeah, every older sibling to younger sibling.
That's
Also,
it.
yes means no and no means yes. You want me to punch you? Um. So going back
How
to,
fucking boring is this story?
so it's this post-apocalyptic Mad Max thing, which brings nothing new to the post-apocalyptic Mad Max garbage trash dump look. The I'm trying to think, like when they used to do post-apocalyptic movies prior to Mad Max, was that the one that brought in that whole garbage dump look, or was there anything before that? Because even A Boy and His Dog didn't really do that, and nor did Damnation Alley.
Probably the Italian movies are to blame for that, the Italian apocalypse ones, because all they could find was a garbage dump.
Well, that was after Mad Max. I mean, that was after the Road Warrior, right? When
Yeah,
they started making those things.
yeah. The Road
So,
Warrior was the one that spawned all those.
yeah, even if some like little low budget movie I'm forgetting did that first, Mad Max was the one that made everybody like.
Yeah,
Well, once the Italians pick it up and the Filipinos pick it up, that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, you know it's worldwide. So it brings nothing to that. There's a cyborg with a cybernetic arm that looks like a poor man's mean machine. There's there's this like AI thing. I care nothing about the father-daughter relationship. The main character, we thought it was going to be this guy as the main character, but the main character is the girl boss, and she's not really that girl bossy, but it's still like I don't really care about or for her. Her mission's kind of dumb. There's supposed to be a real emotional father-daughter thing where he's literally a slack-jawed yokel in this by the end of it. It's because of Peter Milligan's writing, it's hard to tell like how much of this is comedy played very seriously, like straight-faced comedy, or how much of it you're actually supposed to be taking seriously. And yeah, I'm just not digging it. There's nothing. I do like the artwork, even though it arguably looks a little AI around the edges, but I also, when done well, I don't hate some of the I'm going to call it generated artwork or generated images that are created with AI. So Anyway, either of you like this?
No, but I do like the artist. I think he's pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
the storytelling is pretty good.
yeah,
It's
but
just
the whole
boring.
thing I don't care for. Yeah.
Right.
It's boring, generic.
Mhm.
It holds no attention. Some of the stuff happened off screen in between the end of the prog to the next prog, when which you got knocked out.
Mhm.
The ludicrous nature of a bomb that's going to go off and not destroy the person who sets it off. Well, what sort of bomb is it? Is it going to just sort of like, is it not a bomb as we know? Is it something that's going to go sort of like a radio transmission type thing to short circuit I can't understand how it's going to work. So it's just not an exciting tale. But like you say, there's some really nice artwork in it. But apart from that, it's like, is that it?
Mm.
Well, and that's the thing. Like Peter Milligan's, like his current, which was the one he was doing back for it wasn't Animal Man, was it? He had when he did
Shade the Changing Man, I think he did.
Shade, that's right. So he went back, he left 2000, left-ish 2000 AD and did Shade the Changing Man, and I think he did some stuff. Didn't he do like one of the X titles? Did he write the one of the X titles that the Madman guy drew or something like that?
I think you're right. Yeah.
It was like one of those goofy, weird, psychedelic type things. And so he came
Yeah, but
back.
even that gets a lot of slack. Like if you look up Pete Milligan's X-Men run, the first thing you come across is Pete Milligan's X-Men run is awful.
Yeah, but was it awful, or was it just not something X-Men fans wanted from an X-Men book? Because he probably went like instantly off brand and tried to pull some 2000 AD
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
So
probably.
because I want to be as generous as possible, because I do respect the fact that he does do wackadoo psychedelic stuff, and I got to give him props for trying something different. But then he did that for a while. He did that in finger quotes mainstream DC and Marvel stuff, and then came back. And then like I felt, especially when you returned to Bad Company, which sort of had an established feel and tone to it that he was one of the people who was responsible for. And then it just became like this complete farce, like Tank Girl with Bad Company characters. And then he tried to do like new things. Like I keep calling it Calendar. What was that Tank Girl ish type thing he did? Something Girl.
Oh, I know what you're thinking of. It was in 2008. Oh, fuck me. I'll get it. Keep talking.
Right. And then there was that other series. I think there was another series where it was like that couple and she was
Oh, an
pregnant, and
immigrant. She was an alien
the
immigrant or
immigrant
something.
story, right? That immigrant story. So almost all of them since he came back have. You would think that Bad Company should be the slam dunk, but they weren't even like the crazy wackadoo. I mean, it was like a tired attempt at that crazy wackadoo stuff. And then this is like they told him like, hey, either tone it down, or maybe he decided that maybe he's so tired now that to him something AI, something's considered crazy wackadoo. But this is like, so you would never guess that this is a Peter Milligan story based on everything he's done before or his best work from before. And it's really bland. And I was remember we were all for it. It was like first two installments, I'm intrigued. And then they introduced the girl character, and it was kind of like, okay, don't hate it yet. And we're I think the second to last one's the Pentateuch one is next issue. And then so that we're like maybe 3 away from the end, and it's been 11 parts. So I think that's enough of a chance. And it's kind of drifting into Skip Tracer. This is the dystopian Skip Tracer. This could literally exist in the same universe as Skip Tracer. So, yeesh.
Anyways, the discarded crap. All right. What was your favorite
Jeez.
story? What was your favorite story in the prog?
Um, I'm going to go for the thrillers because I want to see where it goes. Everything else is just sort of like, okay, it was, I mean, Dread was atrocious. I enjoyed the end of the, I forget what it's really even called now, that other story, Hen and Shook, because I didn't like the build up, but the payoff was enjoyable. I mean, I enjoyed the joke stuff. But yeah, the thrillers is the one that's like, it's instantly saying like, right, you want to see what's coming next, and that's
Yeah.
why I want to see.
Yeah, I'll go for that too. And also, Steve Austin's artwork is improved, and it could be like Rossy said that he's actually working with some good stuff.
Yeah.
What about you, Rossy?
That makes it interesting. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Brink because the storytelling and the artwork is excellent on that, despite my not wanting to spend like $20 per installment for for all the collected trades. I do enjoy it as part of the Prog. Hernan Shuck was good, and I might vote for the last one just to give it a good send off. And the Stone Cold Stephen Austin one is, I wouldn't say best of the Prog, but definitely one of the top 3 enjoyable stories in the Prog. So there you go.
Right. Okay, anything to say before we hit the road?
Don't forget, people, World War III is coming, if you believe the internet. So
even though there's
you
a
might as
peace
well-
deal, there's a peace
might
deal
as well
going
go
on
out with-
around and around.
Oh, you might as well go out in a ball of flames. So who cares?
Even though there's a peace deal going on in the background.
No, it's the end of the
Yeah.
world. I
There's
mean, the
always
amount of posts that I've seen saying you're going to get conscripted, and then I open the post up and everyone's going, you can fuck right off.
Yeah. There's that one. So this isn't a Kickstarter corner, but I forgot to mention, John, this is going to be your last chance. I just got my box from Lone Star Comics or my comic shop.
Get them all in because you're going to say it, aren't you?
I got the final, well, this might be the last one for a while. I got the final installment of Micronauts, the omnibuses. So this is volume 4, the final chapter, end of an era. As far as I can't imagine any way that they would reprint them or repackage them that I'd feel I'd want to have them. So that's that. But also for you, Flint, the reason I bring it up at all is in that box there's an AXA trade paperback. So there's reprints from Dren Comics. There's it's 1, 2, 3, and 4, but there's 6 of them out there. So I don't know. So it's not like you can get all of the ones available as individual issues in this one trade. You have to, I guess, one or the other or both. I sprang for both because what the hell. But
I thought you were going to say that you posted all the comp copies of Jungle Comics.
Well, that was going to be last Thursday, but unfortunately I couldn't walk to the post office because of my disability. So I'm going to try to get them out this week. Yes.
Your brain retardation's got nothing to do with your feet, Rossy.
Well, you know that I mentioned it earlier that my knees and feet make me a veritable cripple. But despite that, I will carry your 10 pounds of comics to the post office to make sure you get yours.
Shall we create a base for you that you can sit on like the mech on?
Yes, please do. Just like a
remote control.
Just like a local parade float that's like made out of foil and
we do it like a drone, a big drone, but kind of half egg shaped like the Mechon's chair, and we'll have you float around on that.
Well, just go to some like abandoned lot and get a toilet, somebody's like tossed out toilet and wrap it up in foil, and then like that would be awesome. But yeah, because I think the world of you, Flint. They only gave me 2 copies of Jungle Comics 26, and I was like, it is not fair for my friend Flint to get 5 copies of everything but number 26, So I lifted
You
the
don't
heavy.
have to give me 5 copies. Like 2 will do. 2 of each one will
No,
do.
no, you're getting 5 copies of each one, and you're
Cause
gonna
that'll
like it.
shut that fucking Irishman up.
Just because it's the right thing to do after making you wait so long. And on top of that, I moved the heavy boxes of my personal collection and hauled out 3 of my own copies to make sure that you get 5 across the board of everything.
Do you have any spare Chesty Sanchez issues?
Yeah.
Many,
You never got one?
No, I'd like to. Do you have all? How many issues was it? Like 2?
It's 1 and 2 of a regular comic, but if I send you the super special, you get the whole story. So
How many of the super specials do you have?
I probably have enough to spare. Well, I certainly have enough to
Well,
spare for you.
send me 1. I'd like to have 1.
Okay, well, if since I can't even remember the last time anybody actually asked me for one, you are absolutely going to get one.
Do me a favor, sign the front cover.
Oh, okay.
And I'll frame it and stick it in the office.
Well, then what I'll do is I'll send you the all 3. If I can spare all 3, it'll just 1 and 2 will be the same thing as what you're getting in the super special, but the cover for number 1 was drawn by the woman who does Blue Eye Samurai. Actually, number 1 and 2 covers are by her, and then I think my copies of number 2 are signed by a dead man's hand. The artist passed away, but I still have signed copies.
No, I don't want his signature.
You don't want the dead man's hand?
No, just yours. Just your signature on the cover of 1.
Okay.
I'll hang it up in the office.
I would be honored for that. That would be awesome. And I have my White Heat comics all like in one place. You know, the special little bag in the special little bookcase where I keep all the ones that my friends did. So
cool.
So, yeah. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Do you have those?
All right.
Well, let me ask you this. Maybe I'll go for the big box. Do you have those? Have you seen those things where they're like hard plastic cases where you can press your comics into it? It's not the
slabbing.
It's not slabbing. You can take them
No,
in and out of it.
it's for displaying comics.
Yeah. Do you have any of those, or have you ever?
No, there's comic frames you can buy on Amazon.
Right. Okay.
That I put all the individual Thugs issues in there.
Right.
And the first Caretaker's Tales in there. So I'll just do it with yours.
Okay. Well,
I'll take a picture of it and show it to you.
Well, one day when you come over, I'll show you the actual painting from the super special that was done by a guy at the Mexican swap meet. So it couldn't be more authentic.
Right, here, I'll stick this in the podcast chat so you can see it.
Okay, I don't want to. I'm not touching the phone until we sign off.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll frame it. So I think that's it. I think we're done. I'll stop recording.